our own actions, our own decisions, you are unique and responsible. The Bible also teaches us that He will hold us all accountable for how we spend our life. That we're created with all the ability to achieve, make decisions based on the criteria that we have before us. We can make those great choices. But it also says that the deeds that we do have no bearing on that judgment. Now, stay with me because you're going to go, wait a second. What are you saying? Hang in there. The deeds that we do have no bearing on that judgment, only faith in Christ. Only faith in Christ. And this tells me that deeds are a basis of reward and not judgment. This is life. Good deeds, bad deeds, those are a basis by which we are rewarded or maybe not rewarded as much, but not judgment. Because we are saved by what? Grace. And that just through faith. Not any deeds, not any works that we can do, have done, will do, might do, think about doing, intend to do. None of them. We are saved by His wonderful grace. And any deeds that we do are a basis of reward and not judgment. I can see you thinking out there. That eternity with Him, listen to this. There's an eternity that is frightening to some people, but I believe that this is a result of a glorious relationship that will ever be expanding and filled with peace and power, that we are created for relationship with the eternal one who is personal. He is living and He is self-sustaining. And this tells me that eternity will be one of great joy and discovery. And I just can't wait to start that part. I'm in one season right now, and it's okay. I like it. I got a cake at church today. Wow. Life is good. Here's a passage that's a beautiful one. I don't know if you've noticed this before or not. Hosea chapter 6 and verse 3. It's this wonderful, beautiful little nugget in one of these minor prophets that you sometimes skip over while you're trying to get to the story of Jesus in the New Testament. But Hosea is a great little book. It says this: let us acknowledge the Lord. Let us press on to acknowledge Him. I know the verse isn't up there, isn't it? You're thinking, click it so we can see it. Hosea 6:3. Write it down. Let us acknowledge the Lord. Let us press on to acknowledge Him. As surely as the sun rises, He will appear. He will come to us like the winter rain, like the spring rains that water the earth. Like rain upon us, He will come. And that's a wonderful thought. You see, this is this life that we can have. That's a great thought. And it has nothing to do with what I do or don't do. What we tend to get wrong is, unfortunately, very multifaceted. Jesus said that I would come that you'd have life. Look at John chapter 10, verse 9 and 10. Look at this. Jesus says, yes, I am the gate. Those who come in through me will be saved. They will come and go freely and will find pastures. The thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose, listen to my purpose again, my purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. What a great thought. You see the continuous thought of this life that He promises, this life that we can have. I've written these things that you might have life. I want you to have life. He wants us to have that. That life is to be rich and satisfying. But unfortunately, there are thieves who come in to steal and kill and destroy. Those are the three terms. These terms are very meaningful. Steal, we all know what it means. To take something that was meant for you. others will come and take what was meant for you. Jesus said, I've come to give you life. But hey, you know what? There are thieves that come in and they will steal the thing that was intended for you. You have to hold on to your life. Go down to Benton Market. You got your purse. Got your pocketbook. Better hang on. But just as sure as that's true, hang on to life too. Steal. Kill too. In the experience of connection with those that are around you, relationships and beauty and joy, you can kill it. The third term, destroy. Mar it beyond recognition so that gifts or relationships, abilities lose their ability to have their intended impact. It can happen. Jesus came to give us life. Look at it again. A rich and satisfying one. Let's move on. Our time's going to run out on us. Let's go back to the front page and look at the second column for just a bit as you go through these miracles again. As you see water being turned to wine, we find that life is manifested this way. A young couple finds success in their marriage. How wonderful is that? They find success in their marriage. Oh, that our marriages would succeed and not fail. Listen to me. Oh, that our marriages would succeed and not fail. Jesus has come that you'd have life. Not life somewhere else, but life right now. You say, well, how does that work? Well, there's forgiveness and there's transparency and there's honesty. Those characteristics that attach to His person, and as we become more and more like Him, we are more and more like Him with each other. He's come that we would have a rich and satisfying life. Second miracle. God is not limited by space or physical presence. You can feel Him today where you are. You get on a plane and go to wherever you have to go to tomorrow. He can be on the plane with you. You may say, well, that's a little bit scary. No, not really. The way maintenance occurs on some of these aircraft, we better have Jesus with us. Probably a good idea. That third miracle, what a wonderful thing. Jesus healing this lame man. Relying on form and tradition is not the solution. You want to have life? It's not by just keeping up a form or a tradition, because that will frustrate you. What is necessary is a revolutionary power of a present Creator. Feeding 5,000 people. That life shows me that life is manifested through hungry people discovering a God who cares about little things. Those little things in your life. He really does care. Now, I'm not one of the kind of guys, and maybe you'll say you should be. I don't pray about parking places, and I don't pray. I guess I should maybe. I'm usually distracted by people. I tend to see people a lot, and if I miss a parking place, and if I have to make a block, I don't get too upset about it unless I'm really, really late. I like people, and that's always kind of a fun thing. But I do know this: He cares about the little things. I was really pleased this last Sunday. Not pleased because of what I'm about to tell you. The Toa, she fell and bumped her head. It kind of frightened me a little bit. Mom and Dad less so. But you know what? I saw Rodney come along. Rodney and Paige are out today. They've taken their children to Grandma, I think. Rodney went over and he actually prayed for her. That's wonderful. God cares about the little bump on her head. God, kind of worried here. Take care of this. He cares about the little things. That next miracle where He's walking on the water. Listen to this one. Out of their heads with fear of an angry sea, Jesus comes walking on top of their fears and never subject to them. He's not frightened by your problem. He'll walk on top of it. That's a good life. That's a good life. A man born blind. Jesus takes mud, puts him on his eyes, tells him to go and wash. He went and came back seeing. This tells me that weaknesses that are long-standing, even from birth, can be reversed. It doesn't matter how long you've had the problem. It does not determine its permanence. Its permanence is not determined by how long you've struggled with it. These things are written so that you would believe that He's the Messiah, the Son of God, and that you would have life. Here it is. Not subject to some crazy passion or some crazy weakness, some crazy thing that keeps tripping you up. The raising of Lazarus tells me that not even death has a grip on us. Not even death. Some in this room have had excruciating experiences with death, and I want to just remind you today that He has come that He would have life, and that death will shake its bonds one day. And a loved one is not gone, but will live. Wow. All of this by a very simple means. Last column says this. By a person. By a person. Not a floaty, feely, touchy, kind of a good feel. But a person, the Messiah, the Son of God. That is who He is. Verse 31 says that by believing in Him, you don't have to believe in me. You don't have to believe in this, but you got to believe in Him. That's the one you got to think about, and the one you got to decide about. And then finally this. It is by His power, the power in His name, you will have life. You will have life by the power of His name. I'm comforted in thinking that wherever I am, and even in dealing with children, sometimes they have these fears that we consider to be very unreasonable. But unfortunately, they'll take their little unreasonable fears to bed with them. And they'll lie there and they will think about that. There's nothing greater than to tell a child, listen, it doesn't matter where you are. You close your eyes. I used to tell kids like this all the time who were growing up in extremely abusive families. I worked with Child Protective Services in Durban, South Africa for a while, and I would do home visits. And sometimes the legal ties were very complicated. And even when I wrote a report and was going to have a child removed from a family, sometimes those wheels turned very, very, very slowly. And I would have to talk to a child that was suffering from excruciating abuse in a family. You just have to just hang on. I can't do anything. And would tell them, listen, when you are by yourself, you lie in bed, you close your eyes. Mr. Watson's not far away, but Jesus is even closer. You just keep talking to Him. Help is on its way. He wants you to have life today. The point is this. The age of miracles, my friends, and I am so glad this is true. The age of miracles is not past because the author of miracles lives forever. The point of this, secondly, is this. This call is what it has always been. Believe in the one whom the Father has sent. Believe in Him. No magic formula, no mysticism, just believe in Him whom the Father has sent. His intention for you is life.